Okay, so I just actually got off stream, and when I was on stream, people were like, "Oh, Ethan Klein did a bad thing," blah blah blah, and I was like, "Okay," and then nobody said me anything, so I was like, "Whatever." After the fact, I was like, "Oh yeah, somebody said something about this." I looked into it. Apparently, this is what it is. I found a video by The Quartering. I figured I'd watch a video from Ethan's opposition. So of course they'll make it as bad as possible. So we should be able to get everything collected up here. And I'm going to react to this really quick. I might just put this right on the Paprika Leftovers channel since I'm kind of considering that my new main channel. But if I don't, I decide to put it up on the main, like the old main, my Paprika channel, which is basically my live streaming channel. Just so you know, if you are interested or you like these types of reactions better, where it's just like single video reactions, that is Paprika Leftovers now. I stream pretty much everything on the main channel, and then I cut it up and I put it on the alt channel. Or if you go on the main channel, you can take a look, and I will section things off. I'll put chapters on the videos, and then I set it to members only for like a day. Next day at 12, it comes back on, just so that I can monetize and whatnot. $2 a month if you want, or you wait, whatever. Anyway, let's get into this. Apparently, Ethan did a bad thing. This is called Ethan Klein just ended his career. Unhinged statements on A Street podcast about Ben Shapiro and Kanye West.
So there was a big protest outside the NRA meeting, which was good. Do we have any insight into what they're actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas? Someone should
This is something from a while ago.
that building.
4 to 6 weeks later.
I was just going to say...
Yeah, I remember that. It was a misspeech. You know, he instantly walked it back, like, right after that. And, like, apologized and whatnot. It was a very edgy joke that came in the wake of a horrible mass shooting. And then there was an NRA meeting within the same, like, week, the same state. So it came off as insensitive. Okay, let's continue.
If there's another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews... I just say, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first.
That's a bit edgy. Wait, why are we having a meltdown over this? I mean, first of all, Ethan's Jewish, so wouldn't it be kind of a joke he can make, right? He's a Jewish guy, so he's allowed to make a joke like that. All right. It's an edgy joke, but like I find it okay. Listen, it's inappropriate. Sure, he should apologize, but it's like an edgy joke, and don't people always like beg Ethan back for the edginess to come back, and then he does it, and then you guys shit on him? I don't understand. Like, do you want him to be edgy again, or do you want him to just be edgy against more left leaning people? I guess like he kind of used to be, where he'd be a little bit more based. I'm just wondering because I like the edginess all around. Jokes like this are fun, you know.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
It's a little too based.
What?
Are we really pretending that like we care that much about this? Like, come
on. What?
Oh,
Ethan Klein has stepped in it again. I assume he's going to have another channel strike incoming here because...
Why?
I assume
it's a joke. Who cares?
You know, this will be one of.
I'm going to assume Ethan doesn't actually want a Holocaust because he would be Holocausted. So it's a very clear joke to me. Who cares? Like I don't know.
The very first videos on it, and mainstream media will certainly pick it up if Ben Shapiro decides to. If he gets a hold of it, I'm sure that it's going to be a whole huge firestorm.
Maybe. Hey, bring it on, dude. It's content, but like. Are we like? I get why Ben would be upset. He's the target of the joke, but why are you pretending to be upset? Like, it's an edgy joke.
You know, a couple of, jeez,
it's not that.
A couple of prefaces. You know, I still think that, you know, I still try to give Ethan Klein the benefit of the doubt. When you're on a live stream, especially, you have a stream of consciousness kind of thing, and your things just come out of your mouth. And
sure.
You know, perhaps I'm sure he's going to wish that he had worded that better.
I don't think there was any. That insinuates that he was trying to word it like that seriously at all. I just like. Do we actually care that much about it? Like, I totally could understand why Ben Shapiro would be upset. He's every right to be. People who are targeted by jokes tend to be a little more upset. But like, it's an edgy joke. Like, are we pretending that it's not? Like, who cares, dude? Especially it's from a fucking Jewish guy making a joke against another Jewish guy. Like, what the?
But even in its full context,
this is the Ethan I want. I want the edgy joke, Ethan. You know, don't pull any punches from either sides. You can't ask for the edgy based Ethan back and then cry about this. I'm just saying.
Pretty bad. All of this is spinning off of.
So Daily Wire's Jewish founder Ben Shapiro says he radically disagrees with incohesive Kanye West and commenter Candace Owens over anti-Semitic tweets, but blames it on the rapper's bipolar. Okay, so I remember Kanye West made some insane like anti-Semitic tweets on his Twitter. I covered a video about it. You could look at it on the channel. Just go pop up Kanye West, you'll find it. You care. The end of the video is where I look at it. It was fucked up. It was like basically proposing like the Jewish question, if I remember correctly, and pushing the idea that Jewish people still run the world, which is how the Holocaust originally happened. Just to be clear, like this type of rhetoric that pushes all these like stereotypes of black people. God, I'm fucking dumb. Of Jewish people, where they control the world, they own this, they own that, blah 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 blah. These type of ideologies is what like happened. This is how the Holocaust happened. Because everybody started to get up in arms and go after Jewish people, and that's how 6 million people died. Jewish people died, right? So like it's really shitty and it's bad. I personally find it kind of I think it's a little bit too much of a cop-out to blame it on bipolar disorder. Maybe Ben Shapiro genuinely feels that way. Maybe he just needs an excuse to downplay Kanye West and Candace Owens since they're both conservatives and they're on his side. Maybe he's just being more charitable because of that. I don't really know. Obviously, mental health issues can be can be a factor in somebody's bad behavior, but I would, you can't be a full excuse. But either way, I can respect what Ben's saying here. Fundamentally, okay, I acknowledge what's happening and I get it. Okay.
Ye. By the way, Kanye changed his name to Ye. So going for so out of respect for that, I will call him Ye.
Okay.
Ye had said some very spicy things that even in context are very, very rough.
What do you mean rough? Do you disagree with what he's saying?
It's about Jewish people. I said this before, and I just want to be honest about my blind spots here.
Sure.
Call me a country bumpkin, and I know ignorance is not an excuse, but I even had one of my viewers email me who's Jewish and try to explain to me, because I don't really think of I don't really understand how Jewish people are separate from other people. Is it a race? I don't even really understand that. On my darts team of 4 players, one of the guys is Jewish, and all I know is that he makes a bunch of jokes about it, and they're all mostly hilarious. And
so first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge here, you're saying that your Jewish friend makes jokes about Jewish people about it. We don't assume they're edgy jokes. Ethan just made an edgy joke. You kind of just exposed yourself for being dishonest in your interpretation of Ethan. Second of all, I get what he's saying because Jewish people are generally considered white by a lot of white people, but there are still people who separate white people from Jewish people. Nick Fuentes explicitly said Jewish people are not white, even though they look very white. There actually is ethnic Judaism, like Ashkenazi, I think is how it's pronounced. I believe I have a little bit of ethnic Jew in me. Only went with my boyfriend. Am I right? Anyway, so yeah, but there are people who separate Jewish people from white people, and they like to be hateful towards them, and they propose this idea that Jewish people from the world, this big conspiracy narrative that again has historically caused a lot of violence against Jewish people.
And self-deprecating. But I don't think of Jewish people as a monolith, just like I don't think of any group of people, black people or Muslim people. I don't think it's good to think of anyone as a monolith. But so forgive my ignorance on this interchangeability of race versus whatever. I don't always know that. But
yeah, so here's some of the tweets I remember. I covered a little bit of it. He said this a DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. So that's a pretty big call to violence. I wonder if there's a lot more, but it was pretty unfavorable things about Jewish people. Yeah. I wonder if there's more stuff. But yeah, you get the framing.
Ye West had said some things that were not okay, and Ben Shapiro has in fact come out and spoken out against it. But I want to actually play the clip in context so you can hear where this comes from. This is on a recent episode of the H3 podcast talking about Ye West, Markiplier Amaranth. I assume this was a day or two ago, but let's see.
A bunch of shit. He's got some people around him. I don't know who. Maybe it's Candace Owens or others.
We're talking about Ye West saying that, Candace Owens is behind all of this. They don't know anything about that. But people on H3 podcasts, they're very liberal, which is, of course, they're right. But also they are the crony liberals who are all conservatives are bad because liberals. I don't think
all they're saying right here is that they think that Candace Owens got to Kanye West and is kind of manipulating Kanye West into a more conservative space, which I actually kind of agree with. I think Kanye West is a guy who's thinking probably in a space that's like traditionally very like progressive, and he's starting to see some of the progressive things aren't as great as they are or they seem, which is great. But then Candace Owens is trying to opportunize on that and trying to push him in a more conservative direction rather than allow him to express himself or explore his idea in a more free thinking way. I tend to agree with that. Sure.
All liberals are bad. But like that's just a short. That's like a short, like low IQ way of looking at things. It's simplistic. It allows you to identify people you disagree with as enemies rather than people that need to be spoken to. But anyway,
that are, repeating a lot of these age-old stereotypes and bigotry against Jewish people. And the dude's brain is fucking applesauce, and so he can't even he doesn't even know the conspiracies that he's talking about. Like
that's probably true. Honestly, that's pretty much Ben Shapiro's take. Kind of, he's got like bipolar or something. Although bipolar doesn't mean your brain's applesauce. But Kanye, some of the things he says can be a little bit rough, a little bit unhinged. He's a little out there,
Sure that he knows what Ye West even knows, but he thinks he does.
That proves it.
If anything, this is like actually a really this is the best case scenario argument from Dan right now on Kanye West, because what he's saying is, yeah, I don't think Kanye West is a bad guy. I think that he's just being taken advantage of and led into the wrong direction. If anything, this is favorable. The only other option is to be like, yeah, Kanye West is an anti-Semitic piece of shit. So this is actually a pretty charitable perspective from Dan, but okay.
What he just said made no fucking sense, and it was like
it's like
20% of 3 different anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
It's like a choose your own adventure of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Well, Candace Owen also works for the Daily Wire.
That's
and
right.
He's apparently getting all this fun anti-Semitism from her, it seems like. And they.
By the way, there is absolutely zero evidence that Candace Owens has said any of these things, maybe in the past, but they don't know that. They're saying, oh, we don't like Candace.
I mean, maybe. The thing is, I feel like I have, but I don't. I had to look it up. Okay, let's just continue.
Owens. So she must be giving Ye West all this anti-Semitism. No evidence, but we're just going to call Candace Owens anti-Semitic because, again, conservatives bad, and we'll just say there are no bad tactics, only bad targets. So we're just going to say whatever we want because we've identified Candace Owens as somebody who is bad, so we can just say whatever we want about her. Although, also, this seems like a libelous statement, but I guess I'm not Candace, so I don't know. I mean, it doesn't affect me.
He just love it. Ben Shapiro.
Bring
it, baby.
Yeah, maybe.
Orthodox Jew.
What are they saying there? So while they're all up in arms,
love it. Ben Shapiro. Bring it, baby.
Orthodox Jew.
I think that what they're saying there is he owns the Daily Wire or something, right?
We've identified Candace Owens as somebody who is bad, so we can just say whatever we want about her. Although, also, this seems like a libelous statement.
I mean, it's a little bit ironic, though, because you're starting the video off pretending that you actually care about this anti-Semitic joke, which is very clearly a joke from a Jewish person, but then basically go on and admit that your friend makes the same jokes in private, and you laugh at them and think that they're funny. So when you sit here and talk about propping up other people and saying they're bad as basically a virtue signal, which is effectively you're saying that they're just virtue signaling about Candace being bad, you're doing the exact same thing to Ethan. It's kind of an embarrassing thing to self-report, but okay.
But I guess I'm not Candace, so I don't know. I mean, it doesn't affect me.
He just love it. Ben Shapiro. Bring it, baby.
Orthodox Jew.
What are they saying there?
I think that they're making a little bit of, they're poking some fun, saying, since Daily Wire, Ben's in the Daily Wire, and Candace is too, that it makes an uncomfortable dynamic, since he's Jewish. But
so while they're all up in arms about complaining about Jewish stereotypes, they are insinuating that Ben Shapiro, a Jew, is happy about this because of money.
One of the good ones.
I did not, that is not the interpretation that I got out of there at all. Okay.
Ones.
Man. God.
Right here, he knows he shouldn't say it. He knows he shouldn't say it, but Ethan Klein is so full of hatred that he literally cannot stop himself.
Another fucked up joke I wanted to say.
I also don't think that that's true. There's times where I want to make really jokes that I think are really funny. I just know that the public may not receive them well, and so I try not to say the jokes. And then sometimes I'll just say it anyway because it's funny. I think that's more what's happening here. But okay.
Easy, Tiger. No, Zach. Cut the timpani.
Oh shit.
He knows he shouldn't say it. Again, he knows he should not say what is about to come out of his mouth. But you know, and I know that Ethan Klein cannot help himself.
So fucking performative from the quartering. Holy fuck.
Type it.
I was just gonna say, if there's
Here it comes.
another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews.
So his own crew is like, dude, you're going to see, like, what he's already said there, like, they know. Like, and by the way, can I ask my Jewish viewers a question? Like, I swear, I'm being dead honest. Like, I don't really make jokes about, obviously, one of the worst things that's ever happened in human history, but I also don't think jokes should be, like, I think people can make jokes about whatever they want. I don't.
So then why are you policing Ethan?
Particularly enjoy jokes about, for example, 9/11, but I don't think people should not be able to say them.
Yeah, those jokes are all right. Those are funny. If the joke's funny, the joke's funny.
With this particular,
Sometimes there can be. I think the bigger issue with jokes is more like what people can extrapolate out of it, right? So this is my big issue on like TikTok. I know, talk about TikTok again. When you're just making like 10-second joke bangers, there's no context around it. So I would make like jokes that were like a little bit insensitive to like women and stuff, and I still make them on my stream. But like on TikTok, people are like, yes, he hates women. On my stream, I'd make the joke, and then I'll be like, I'm just kidding, and then I go on to talk about like it's usually when we're actually talking about like talking against the manosphere that I'll make like a joke here or there. But I make sure people explicitly know I'm joking. That's the problem with some jokes, is like whether people explicitly know you're joking, because you can joke and mean what you're saying. You're just delivering it in a humorous way. Jokes can be a vehicle to just deliver a particular point in a humorous way so that people will receive them better. That's totally possible. Also possible that you could just be making a joke just because you're playing on like a stereotype that you don't mean. You could be fun. It really depends on the context of the joke. That's some of the issue. Very clearly, based on the fact that Ethan is Jewish, I doubt that he wants a Holocaust. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's a way you could say like, hey, I didn't like this joke. That's fine. But like you, based on your values that you've expressed in this video, The Quartering, you don't actually care about this joke. So why are you pretending to care about it?
particular event, as I know from a Jewish friend of mine who makes jokes about it.
See, why do you care?
It's
then?
like either all okay or it's not okay to make these type of jokes, right?
You can't then get. Why are you here? Why are you fucking? The whole video has been you priming your audience to think Ethan's a terrible person. Why are you being performative then?
Offended. I just don't know where like the Jewish community stands on this.
Oh,
It'd be interesting. You know how to get a hold of me, email or in the comments. I don't make jokes about it because again, it's like, you know, there are other things to make jokes about.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. There's a lot of inconsistencies here, but anyway.
So then why are you pretending to be offended? It doesn't make any sense.
I just say, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first. Or last.
So fucking edgy. Jesus. It's fucking, it's a shitty joke. It's shitty, but it's funny. I'm sorry. I mean, like, he very clearly doesn't want this to happen. So what do you want me to tell you?
What an idiot.
Why? You said that this was okay. You explicitly said this is fine. Why are you pretending like you're like, I think all jokes are okay, but then that's not how. What are you doing? Okay,
like what,
bro? Come on.
Oh, you know Shapiro's gonna see this.
He's apparently
oh shit. Well, when Ben gets involved, I'm gonna pull my cock out and I'm gonna start jerking off.
Like, okay, Ben, good. I want to see what Ben has to say. And if Ben doesn't like it, that's every right, because he's the target of the joke. But like, stop pretending that you care, because you don't. You pretty much explicitly said you don't care.
Getting all this fun anti-Semitism.
Again, in context. Like, I'm not cutting this out of context.
Love it. Ben Shapiro.
Shapiro.
Bring it, baby.
Orthodox Jew.
Mm.
One of the good ones.
Yeah, it sounds like what they're actually saying. Okay, so what they might actually be saying is that like, oh, it seems like Ben Shapiro's okay with this since he works with Candace Owens at the Daily Wire. Does he run the Daily Wire? Is that what was said at the beginning of the video? And so like the argument is like he's co-signing this as like the leader, right, or something in that capacity. Daily Wire's, oh yeah, it's his founder. I knew it was his founder. So now I look a little silly. Okay, Ben Shapiro founded the Daily Wire. Since Candace Owens works for the Daily Wire, and this is all kind of facilitating through an employee of his. The argument here is like, oh, I bet Ben Shapiro's really happy about this, either in a way of saying like he's not happy about it and needs to be policed, or they're saying he's co-signing the basically questioning and going after Jewish people from Kanye West since Candace is employing him in some capacity. That's the argument. They're not saying that Ben Shapiro is a money-hungry person like you were asserting. I don't even know where you got that argument from. I truly don't understand where you got that argument from. But that's what they seem to be saying here. That's the most honest interpretation, I think. So.
Man.
Watch it. He just got the joke.
God.
Just came in his head right now.
Joke
And by the way, what's the joke? I don't get. Is that a joke? He says it's a joke.
So the joke here, this is the joke. I don't know why I have to explain the joke. Okay, is this? Ethan Klein's Jewish. Ben Shapiro's Jewish. Ben Shapiro founds the Daily Wire. Candace Owens works for the Daily Wire, right? Candace Owens is in tandem with, has defended Kanye West and has also been like associating with Kanye West, right? They've been kind of like buddy. So the argument here is that Ben is co-signing and allowing this type of behavior, despite the fact that he's Jewish, of anti-Semitic rhetoric, which Ethan's argument basically is if you are going to be co-signing the anti-Semitic rhetoric, then you are basically advocating or okay with, in some capacity, hatred towards your own people, Jewish people. And so and again, Ben Shapiro came out against it. So keep that in context. And if that came out before Ethan made this remark, then it makes Ethan look kind of stupid, since Kanye has, now I have to check. It makes him look kind of stupid because he didn't see that article where Ben Shapiro explicitly says that. This came out on the 17th. So this came out 2 days ago. The article, it's like ridiculous research. Okay, hold on. The article, I don't know exactly when it comes out. If Ethan's aware of it, then he's just being dishonest by not talking about it. In context, it's very clear that Ben doesn't actually agree with this based on this article, which I cannot find the date. This came out today. Okay, so this article wasn't out, my understanding. This is dated October 19th, Wednesday, October 19th. Ethan Klein, the podcast that Ethan Klein was on, sorry, I'm all over the place, is right here. It's October 17th. So, yes, the joke here is that basically Ben is co-signing this by allowing, because of the association between Candace. And so, if the Holocaust does happen, which would happen off of the back of, this very real rhetoric that, DEFCON 3 on Jewish people is pretty explicitly anti-Jewish, pretty anti-Semitic from Kanye West. If he is actually co-signing this, then, yeah, the joke is, I hope he's the first one to feel the negative impact of this type of anti-Semitic behavior that led to the Holocaust. Very clear interpretation of the joke. I think I did a good job at explaining that. That's the joke. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have had to explain that because I feel like everybody know that, but okay.
Just remember when he said, "Oh man, I hope some lunatic goes down to that building, the NRA convention." Where was the joke? He's going to get a strike for this. Almost.
I hope not. The joke again, the joke there more than anything else, and it was edgy. It was a very edgy joke, right? The joke there was that he hates the NRA. And that he thinks it's incredibly insensitive that they're holding an NRA rally within the same week, I think in the same state as a horrible mass shooting happened where 19 kids and 2 adults were killed. Teachers, I believe it was teachers. And so it was more of fuck this place now. You got to strike for that. I can understand why. He immediately walked it back, by the way. You didn't show that part, but that's fine. I'm not the biggest Ethan fan in the world, but facts are facts here. And yeah, you're being a little sussy. So that would be kind of the joke there. It was anger, which I think is totally justifiable because in that space, we were all very angry. And now that situation has moved on, you've cut all the context out of it. Because you know that within the full context of the situation, Ethan looks more human, even if the behavior was inappropriate there. But this isn't a call to violence. You can't even argue that it might be a call to violence, as some people could argue the last one was. Okay.
Most certainly. I can't believe they left it up. In a time where we're literally talking about anti-Semitic rhetoric and this, I can't even repeat what Ethan Klein is saying here.
Why?
It's not a joke.
It was a joke.
He's just saying, "Oh, I hope he gets it first." That's
the joke.
Where's the joke? Where's the joke? Where's the joke there?
No, Zach. Cut the timpani.
Oh, shit.
He knows, yep, I'm going to get a strike for this. I just hate him so much, though. He's a conservative.
I was just going to say, if there's another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews.
You keep playing it, and then I can't say it, and then you just play it again.
I just say, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first. Or last.
Jesus.
That's stupid.
Where's the joke?
See, the or last part, the first of the joke about the first part was that he should be the first one to go, under the assumption that he's co-signing this behavior, which again came out 2 days later and said he wasn't. Fair enough. Looping it back around, being the last one, that would mean you'd have to stay alive and suffer longer. So that it would be the joke. Very edgy, but very clearly a joke. And the Quartering understands that as well, because again, his friend makes the same jokes. And he admitted that in this thing while he pretends to care about this. This is performative outrage.
he's smiling about?
All the relevant Wednesday.
Look at his face. He knows that's not a joke.
He knows it is a joke. He might just realize that it's a very intense joke and might be too much.
Can I not say that?
Yes. You can't, oh my god.
He know. What do you mean what?
I thought it was funny.
What do you mean what?
What am I gonna? I can't. I'm not doing anything. I'm part of the. I'm getting gas too, Dan.
I'm inside.
That's funny. Yeah, he's true. He's Jewish too. That's funny. Come on. Why are we pretending that this isn't funny? If it's not your humor, that's fine. But again, Quartering loves this humor. He loves it when his Jewish friend makes these jokes.
Your walls, Ben.
Do you think it would be more justice if he got gas
That little thing that was played.
too, Dan?
I'm inside your walls, Ben.
So that's actually very inside, like well, not very inside, but this is a joke from TikTok. There's this person on TikTok named Ben, where all he does is really terrible video reactions, and people troll him by adding him and showing creepy stuff.
Do you think it would be more justice if he got gassed first or last?
And then he continues it. This is exactly like the NRA threat he had. This isn't a joke. What Ethan Klein
actually right after the fact, he kind of walked it back. But okay, this is a joke. Shut up.
here has said while laughing is he hopes that Ben's at the front of the line essentially, and then he knows, oh my god, I can't say that, but I cannot help myself.
Well, then he jokes about him being at the back of the line stuff for longer. Yeah, that's the joke. Thanks.
Decline to comment.
Everybody in that room who Ethan Klein is responsible for paying their salary is about to get another week off.
Good for them.
I mean, like, this dude has been on YouTube as long as I have. First of all, where's the joke?
You so annoying.
This is what happens when politics just rot your brain.
Yeah, you are what happens when politics rots your brain. Bro, I swear to God, listen, Ethan does some bad shit. I was talking about this the other day, too. Hassan does some bad shit, too. But nowadays, I remember I watched this Think Before You Sleep video, and this guy was like, he had to make sure he talked about Hassan in a way that was, like, positive, because Hassan was having some very good conversation, like, he's making some very good points on how like incels can correct their behavior by like showering and gaining more confidence and trying to go outside and be productive members. And it was actually very compassionate, and it was a really solid take from Hassan. But the person who made the video, Think Before You Sleep, had to make sure that afterwards he let you know that he doesn't like Hassan, right? So if you like Hassan and you're more conservative, then you're a bad person. You know what I mean? If you can't acknowledge a good thing Hassan does. This is what we're doing here. This is a virtue signal. You are virtue signaling to your conservative audience because Ethan bad. Ethan bad. Ethan make joke I find funny, but Ethan bad. So joke bad. Except if someone else made it, right? That's what's happening. It's a conservative virtue signal. You could have just made this video and be like, yeah, you know what, this isn't that big of a deal. I think it's insensitive. I personally want to make it, but I understand the joke, and I think it's kind of shitty. And if Ben Shapiro responds, then he has every right to. That's my take. Actually, I thought the joke was kind of funny, but that's a fine take to have for him. But you're pretending that you care. You are virtue signaling here, right? You are pretending that this is like an offensive, outrageous thing. Meanwhile, you're the fucking arbiter of free speech trying to joke police. What's the joke? I didn't get the joke, so it's not a joke. That's how he's... The reason he keeps saying, what's the joke? It's not a joke, is because his ideology defends edgy jokes. So this can't be a joke, or else he'd have to defend it. You see how, like, all the fucking, like, you know?
And you can see no good in anyone who might vote a different way. And, of course, it's Ethan Klein, so he'll get off the hook again. There won't be a ton of articles about it. Ben Shapiro may not even see it. But I suspect that
Send it to him.
People are going to go
Send it to Ben.
This video and be flagging it. I'm sure they will.
Hey guys, here's my low-key... This is just you calling to flag the video. You're being a dickhead now. I could definitely see people going to the video and flagging it. I can't wink because I have tics.
And what will YouTube say? I mean, what the hell? What is that? It's like a direct, like he's like fantasizing about it.
Yeah, he's probably masturbating, thinking about dying in a gas chamber. You're 100% correct to the quartering that, Jeremy.
World where we're like extremely sensitive to that, to any kind of things around, making these kind of statements around Jewish people. Obviously, like, even if it wasn't Jewish, it'd be a super messed up thing to say.
Why?
Like, if you look at his face right here,
you would disagree.
He's like, I regret it.
Maybe his gas.
He's going to get a strike, and he should get a strike.
He doesn't regret it because of the joke. He would probably regret it because of the potential reaction that would come from people.
But he, well, maybe he won't actually get one. But like,
go reporter, guys.
Yikes.
Go reporter, please.
Yikes.
Period.
Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
I didn't. It was fucking horrible dog shit garbage. I mean, it's very clear you don't actually care about what's happening here, and you're pretending to care because it's Ethan, and it's really boring. This is the most boring. I hate when people have boring, dumb fucking criticisms of people. It's childish. This is the video that makes me like Ethan more, because you know what? This is the kind of Ethan that I'm looking for. Like the guy who's making some like a little edgier jokes, who's not trying to like be fucking, run performance pieces and trying to virtue signal. This communicates to me that he's just trying to have fun and be a little edgy like he used to, while also advocating for more like left-leaning stuff, which I'm totally on board with. That's how I operate my content. If anything, this makes me like Ethan more. Bro, you're so fucking boring, dude. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and a special shout out to all my Patreon patrons, my YouTube members, and my Twitch subs. If you'd like to learn how you can contribute even more than you already are by simply watching the video, you can check the links down below, which will unlock a special feature depending on the platform that you subscribe to, such as Patreon here, that will get your name right here on this wall. Thank you so much, guys, again for watching, and have a good one.